to the channel. We just got this RZR back from frame. Let's take a look what it looked like. Wow, our frame guy, Vanya, he did an incredible job. Essentially, he ended up taking this front support bumper and pulling it out. This was way bent in. If we go back here, one thing he did notice when he put it on the frame rack, and I didn't notice it right away either, but this back right wheel was actually sitting in, like, slanted a little bit like this. And what ended up happening is it ended up bending one of these brackets. And so what Vanya did, he grabbed some clamps, clamped onto the bracket, and pulled the bracket this way, which ended up bringing the whole wheel out. And so right now, alignment is looking great. We'll still have to change the front tie bar because that thing is busted. So, but otherwise it's looking great. So the next steps, we're gonna go ahead and take off the front bumper here and begin to replace the fascia, this right fender, and make it looking nice and new once again. So let's get to it. Ended up buying a brand new fascia. We got this at the dealer. It wasn't crazy expensive. I mean, it was 400 bucks. Front bumper fascia here, it actually come right off. Looks like. What I'm probably more concerned about is this LED bar. We're gonna need to figure out a way to like take it off because the wire, it looks like it was wired right here.
Yeah, you just got some electrical tape in there.
Just twist it off here. Headlight looks pretty good.
Yeah. But you're gonna get new ones.
We almost got the fender off. The last thing we need to do is to get these two bolts out. These two bolts hold the entire roof in place. What I feel like is gonna happen now is we're gonna have a pretty tough time putting it back in place. We just gotta have to kind of lift it up and see if we can slide this out. Well, now that we've got these wires here too. These wires connected too. One of them is a ground wire, one of them is not a ground wire. I think what we're gonna end up doing, we're gonna cut these wires, not right here, we're gonna cut them down here, inside the bay actually. That way we'll be able to solder them back together, put some electrical tape over it, and that way we'll be able to take it off a little easier. Okay, so we got the fender off. And this bracket here, it looks like we're not gonna replace it. We'll just bend it back because this is, I think, some kind of very soft steel. It's not aluminum. So we're gonna bend it back so it lines up just like this with this fender here. Then we'll throw the new fender on and it'll look perfect. Boom. Nice and straight. So this, usually with tie bars, especially on cars, there's ways to unscrew it and undo it right here and on this end as well. And so essentially you're just replacing this rod. With this RZR, there's not actually a way to unscrew it here because this is all one piece. There's a ball joint here, but it's not removable. So what they told us at the dealer, we have to, there's 3 bolts, one here, here, and here, and then there's the mounting pillar for the steering column. It goes right on top of here. We're gonna end up pulling these 3 bolts out, pulling the mount of the steering column off, replacing the entire rod, both sides, which essentially means we're also gonna have to get alignment. But either way, we're gonna have to get alignment done because that tie rod ended up busting like on one of these ends. So we're gonna get this replaced and then we're gonna continue putting the whole front end together. so we figured it out, more or less. I think we did. To get the tie rod off, we actually need to take the winch off. So right inside here, if you take a look, the tie rod is right here. This is the tie rod. The way that it hooks on is there's 3 bolts, 2 bolts right there, and then 1 up above it. And then on the other side, we've got 2 other bolts that kind of hold the other side in place. We're gonna pull those bolts off, pull the winch out, and then replace the tie rod. That's gonna be the easiest way to do that.
So we unscrewed the tie rod from each hub, unscrewed, and so now we're just going in there
to get these out.
Going like 1 tick at a time.
Basically.
Guys, we are absolute idiots. So,
Idiots.
So the guy at the RZR dealership for Polaris told Nick that you need to replace the whole entire rack and pinion just to replace the tie rods. After trying to work with it for literally about probably 2 hours that we've been working on it, I watched some YouTube videos and found out that you can in fact just replace the tie rod after we already destroyed the whole rack and pinion, the boot, everything.
Well, we didn't destroy.
No, we ripped it up. In order to replace the rack and pinion, we're gonna have to drop the whole diff. We have to disconnect all the suspension, calipers, knuckles, hubs, everything.